Oh, okay, that's cool. I do all that work just to make it work, and then it doesn't. Oh, there it goes. Okay, hi! I was like, hi, everybody. Long time no see. And by long time no see, I mean I literally streamed last night, but I didn't have my camera on, so. Long time no see my face. Hello. Oh, no, my thing is blocking it. Sorry, hold on. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't even know where it is. Oh my god, it's all the way down here. Okay, hold on. Okay, that's good. I think. Yeah, okay. I don't know. Okay. Hi, everybody. I hope everybody's doing good. I also hope that the Spotify is not too loud. I'm gonna turn Spotify slightly down for you guys. I'm gonna keep it up so I can bump. But hi, this is a kind of a different stream for me. I have done some like IRL stuff before, but I haven't actually sat down and done a get ready with me makeup video for Twitch since I was living with my sister. And that's wild. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna play with some makeup, and I'm going to get into depth about my wedding planning. And hopefully this is entertaining for you guys. And if it's not, don't tell me that it's not. Because I need validation in this little turn that I'm doing. This like hard left, right. Hard right turn. Hard left, right? Hard left, right. Anyway. But hi. Before we get started, hi, my name's Aki, and I am a streamer both here on Twitch and over on YouTube, Destiny Wins Gaming. I am an idol in the idol community with one single out currently, and I'm working on my second, but it's hit a roadblock because money exists. Well, doesn't actually exist, partially because of my wedding. So, if you're interested and you're over on YouTube, give a like and a comment. I think that helps the algorithm. Definitely subscribe to me over on YouTube because I am hoping to get to 100 subscribers. I'm at a little under 50 right now. So I'm excited for that. If you're over here on Twitch, subscribes also help me pay my bills. So subscribe to me here too. But yeah, so that's that for now. We're going to jump into doing some makeup, and I'm going to talk to you guys today about wedding planning and my proposal, because I realized that I haven't actually gone into depth about any of it since it happened. So yeah, let's jump into it, everybody. And hopefully my camera won't die in between that, because it's just a cell phone. It's just a cell phone. So I'm going to grab my makeup, some of it, and we'll just like get started. So I did make a proper announcement, I think on everything as of now. Everything has received a proper announcement that I am engaged. The camera's here now. I'm looking up here because this is where my DSLR camera is, and that's the camera I usually talk to. You guys are here. So here's my ring. It's crooked. Of course it is. Here you go. I am officially affianced and engaged, and I have been engaged for a little under 2 months now, and that feels fun. It's exciting. My wedding is this December, and that's kind of quick considering I only got engaged 2 months ago. So let's talk about that. First of all, I met my fiance Christopher through this friend group here on Twitch and online. So shout out to the Vancouver friends who introduced us. You, unbeknownst to all of us, introduced me to my soulmate. And I met him about 5 years ago. And yeah, we have just been friends ever since, me and Chris. And we started dating a little over 2 years ago. So God, I don't like that. Ugh. So we started dating a little over 2 years ago. I met Christopher through this online community over Discord in 2020, which is insane to know that the love of my life was just literally sitting on Discord. But he and I started dating a little over 2 years ago. And last year, we had a really deep conversation around our 1 year anniversary on where our relationship was headed and how serious we wanted to get into things and the prospect of moving to a whole new country. Because in order to be together, one of us would have to move. And we had discussed it and talked about it. And I said I was more willing to move. He has a way better job than I do. Just kidding. This Spotify is too loud even for me now. I don't know why it got so loud all of a sudden. I was like, I can't even hear myself think. I feel like I'm yelling to you guys. So we had a conversation and I told him like, I'm open to moving. But in order to move across a country, I want commitment. I don't want to just move across the country to date you. Because if we ended up breaking up and I had left my family, that's like a lot. And it was a conversation that me and him had back and forth. We had talked about it a couple of times. And around August of last year, which was closer to our 1 year anniversary, as I think many people now know, but I will officially announce it, I guess, to anybody who was over on my Idol page and maybe did not happen to know. Last year, at the end of August, my grandmother passed away. She was the light of my life, the person that I went to for everything. I had been taking care of her, so it hit pretty hard. And with that in light and that happening, Christopher came to me and said, hey, I just want you to know that I am committed to you no matter what. And I want to be there for you and be that rock for you, both emotionally because I love you, but also like during this. And we talked about it a little bit more, and we talked about moving up to Canada, which is why I'm here. And I think I did mention this in a TikTok once, and also on my YouTube videos. But our agreement when we decided to move out here was a 6-month sabbatical. And during the first 3 months, if we didn't want to rip each other's throats out, we would get engaged and get married. Our plan was to get married at the Justice of the Peace. We really were like, we'll just go to court and get eloped, and then we can work on getting me moved out to Canada. It won't be a big deal. It'll be small. We can focus on a wedding later. My mom caught wind of this and was like, fuck no. And looking back on it, I think it's a really good reason that my mom did say no, and I'm very thankful that she did, because my family is, not many of them have passports. A lot of them are old and don't really have the means to come out and come all the way up to Canada. So we that's so obnoxious. God, what was I saying? I need bullet points sometimes when I speak, I swear. He agreed that we would do this, basically we just agreed that we would do this test. We were going to go get married at the Justice of the Peace if all else worked out. And then we would work on getting me into the country. And my mom caught wind of this, and she was like, no. You're leaving our country, you're leaving our family, you're leaving everything behind to go to this new place, and we want at least a proper send-off in the form of watching you get married, especially if you're going to take this big next step in your relationship. And I had told like my mom, I was like, we don't even know if we're getting married yet. Like, I have to move out there for the 6 months and see if like we want to kill each other first. And you know, because it's hard to live with people that you've never lived with, especially when your whole relationship has been on Discord. And but my mom was like, no, we're gonna plan you an actual wedding. And I talked to Christopher about it ahead of time, and I was like, hey, like, my mom doesn't want us to just get married at the Justice of the Peace. She wants us to get married, white wedding dress, like, whole event. And Chris was a little apprehensive. Like I said, we had a plan, and the plan was to not do that. Especially because we didn't know if we were going to be okay with each other. And so I think I just realized that my foundation is in the other room. Okay, let me finish this thought and then I'll run and grab it. He was a little apprehensive at first, but he did inevitably agree. Yeah, it's a smart idea, right? He did inevitably agree that like we could start the planning process of wedding planning earlier than anticipated for our engagement. He was apprehensive, but he was still confident that he loved me. And I kind of took it as worst case scenario. If me and Christopher broke up and we came out here, we didn't work compatibly wise, and I had to go home alone, I would just throw a really expensive breakup party and just invite like 50 people to it. Like, fuck it. Right? Like, I there was nothing else I could do. I really wanted this. And the more my mom and I started talking about the wedding and the venues and the stuff, we were like, oh, it turns out you cannot plan a fucking wedding, like a big scale wedding. You cannot plan that shit in 3 months. So, like, the idea of waiting until we got engaged in August was off the table. You cannot plan a wedding in 3 or 4 months. You just can't. Like, it's impossible. So, ahead of time, my mom and I had just agreed, like, this is kind of the safe zone. If he and I break up, I'm just going to throw a really expensive breakup party. We're not going to send out invitations for a wedding. We're just going to, like, vibe. And it will suck and it'll eat all of our money. But you know what? Fuck it. And my mom was like, worst case scenario, we'll double it as a celebration of life for Mimi, because we had agreed, my mother had agreed, to use the life insurance policy that Mimi had left for us on my wedding. My mom was initially going to use it for a celebration of life for my Mimi. My Mimi was the best person in my life. And so my mom was planning on doing that. And so she had changed her mind and said that, you know, I'm gonna be a little bit cocky here. I was my grandmother's favorite grandchild, and everyone in my family knows it. Everyone in my family knows it. So my mom basically was like, I think, honestly, Mimi would have rather see you get married at a proper wedding than to have a little celebration of life. And I appreciate that. I don't think it's true. I think that Mimi would have loved to have a celebration of life, and I still plan on having one for her eventually. But I also appreciate that we decided to use the money toward our wedding. With that, I'm going to quickly BRB. Also, hey, everybody. Hi, Katie. Hi, Zeta. Hi, Vancouver Community Meetups. I am going to just go quickly run and grab my foundation because I forgot it. So just bear with me. I'll be right back. Child. My child is on the floor. I'm good. Everything's fine. Be right back. I'm returned. I'm back. Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm back. Okay. Where was I? So, oh yeah, so we agreed. We agreed that I would start the wedding planning process, before we ever got engaged. So, realistically, I have been planning my wedding since January of this year, knowing that I was not engaged, knowing that possibly my relationship could blow up in my face. Looking back on it, it's fucking crazy, and I'm just genuinely thankful that not only did things work out, but that I have a man that is so in love with me and that I am so in love with that I can do stupid shit like that and know that I'm safe, because that was wild. The level of cocky that I must have been in January to be like, I can totally book a $13,000 venue and buy a $1,500 dress. Like, absolutely insane. I'm crazy. I think I might actually be certifiably nuts. So I did. I went and checked out the venue, and I'll show you guys some pictures. I'll show you guys some pictures. Hold on. Luckily, I had already pre-looked at this. Let's see if I can get you guys some pictures. Do they have like a photo? Oh yeah, look at literally the second photo on this thing that I was like looking at. Childs. Quiet. We're fine. She's fine. I just want to see the picture. Is there? Oh, there is a photo gallery. Okay, good. All right. So... bear with me, everybody. I've actually not looked at a lot of these photos ahead of time to kind of prep. Here's one. Ironically, this is one with my photographer for my wedding, which is great. That's another thing I'll have to talk about. Okay. Let's just save it. Let me just save it and throw it in here so you guys can see real quick. So, my mom and I went around to 4 venues in the area in which we are going to be getting married, which is in Illinois, United States. And the reason I have to specify that is because as of current, I'm living in Vancouver. So why are we getting married in Illinois? Because my family doesn't have the means to come up to Vancouver. They wanted to throw me this wedding. So my child, my sweet child, you are so loud chewing up that box. So we settled on, we went to 4 different venues. We went to a couple of different style venues and a couple of different price ranged venues. We didn't want to look into anything super crazy expensive. Turns out, though, unfortunately for us, it turns out that, like, even the, like, venues that are, like, more budget friendly are not that much more budget friendly. And the reason being is that, for, like, say, the venue that we end up going with, that I will show you guys in a moment, they have, like, a wedding package, and it goes by plate based off of, like, customer plate payments. And it goes pay per plate. And you can get, like, you know, say you have 130 guests, you'd be paying whatever the plate cost is times 130. And then whatever add-ons you would want. Plus, like, you know, like if you wanted certain, like, extra hors d'oeuvres or whatever. And their wedding package includes a cake, which was thankful to us because I don't think I'd be able to throw, like, an actual paying a cake thing on there on top of all the other stuff that I was doing for this wedding. So And initially we weren't looking at it because it was one of the more expensive properties. We ended up going with it eventually because one, it had basically the best bang for your buck. And then also, I want to get married in December. I want to get married in December. I've been wanting to get married in December for years. I talked about it, I think, once when we very first started streaming, that my big plan for getting married in December is one, you get married and the snow is falling and it's beautiful and it's gorgeous outside and it's quiet. And then every year on your anniversary, you can get the fuck out of the cold and go wherever the hell you want. Anniversary vacation. Obviously being a budget girly, I know that that's not always the case. Plus I do love snow, so I'm not too mad about it. But, that was like my big joking thing. I have always wanted to get married in the snow. I've been wanting to get married in the snow since I was like 12. I loved the idea. Up until the bloodbath part, I loved Bella's wedding in Breaking Dawn. Like, that aesthetic, the dark trees with the bright white snow was just everything I could have asked for. So I knew I wanted to get married in December. And luckily for me, when me and Christopher initially had talked about eloping, we talked about eloping in December. So I was like, well, what's the difference? Just turn it into a wedding. And turns out December is not off season for like a lot of these venues. Their off seasons are like January and February, which I did not expect, to be honest with you. I knew a lot of people got married in the summer and a lot of people got married in the fall. And a lot of people get married in the spring. I never expected December to fall in that. I thought maybe like January, February, like December, January, February was kind of like my idea of like an off season, I guess, when it comes to weddings. But apparently December's not in there. Apparently I am just a basic bitch and and I picked what everybody else picked. Oh no, I'm almost out of concealer. So I picked December, and so my mom and I were looking at venues, and we ended up settling on this venue because this venue is a ski resort in Illinois, and it allows for even if there's no natural snow, they have snow machines. As long as it's cold enough, which God, I hope it is, but you know, global warming. But as long as it's cold enough, they'll blow their own snow machines. So the backdrop will still be snowy, even if it's not necessarily snowing in Illinois. And so this is a picture of my venue. Oh, okay. Well, it's way too big. One moment. Okay, why is it so big? Holy shit. One moment, everybody. There we go. So here's a picture of my venue. It's got these beautiful chandeliers, and all those windows in the back there, they overlook the ski lifts. It looks nice, thank you. Yeah. It's got like a big table in the middle, like a, not table, big dance floor in the middle. And, you know, it's got a lot of space. This is one of their bigger rooms because we knew we'd have a lot of family coming in. Yeah, and so me and my mom looked at this venue, and then we were like, you know what, this venue is actually fucking lit. And we decided to go ahead and continue on, and we booked this venue out. And my mom and my sister ended up going to like figure out scheduling and doing all of the like taste testing for the dinner meals and everything for me, because I was already out here at the time that those schedules were set up. But so this is our beautiful venue. This is where we're getting married. Ah! It's super gorgeous. It is very large, and it's just perfect. It overlooks, like I said, it like overlooks these pine trees and the ski lifts, and as long as it's cold enough, they're gonna blow their own snow. So like it's gonna be so pretty, guys. I can't explain how pretty it's gonna be. So we have found our venue. That's check number one. The next step was a complete accident. And it was after we were looking at venues, before we actually found our venue, which is this one, we were looking at a different venue elsewhere. And at the other venue, we were looking at, excuse me, I'm trying to remember. We were looking at, like pictures. We were looking at a different venue, and the different venue was like, we don't have a wedding package for that little amount of people. And we were like, I'm sorry. By the way, everybody, we told the venues that we would have about 115 guests. Okay? For most of my friends, 115 guests is crazy. 115 guests is like more than they see themselves having friends. Okay? Like 115 guests is more than I even assumed that we would have. Okay? That's like a lot of freaking people. And we went to one of these venues and they were like, oh, well, we can't really accommodate that small amount of guests for a wedding package, but we could do a dinner package. And I was like, what? That's absolutely insane. Like, you're joking, right? Like, that's gotta be nuts. It's not nuts. That is exactly what it was. So they were going to set us up with a dinner package, which was smaller than a wedding package. And then it turned out that it would basically cost, like, after doing all of the, like, extra additions to it, to like have the bar and buy a dance floor, because dinner packages don't have dance floors included, right? After like doing all of that work and doing all the math, I've basically found out that their dinner package, which did not include cakes and stuff, was basically the same price as the wedding package at the venue that I did choose. So we did not go with them. But while we were talking to them, the lady there had told me, hey, I know a lot of brides who go to this bridal shop. Have you thought about looking into your dress yet? And I was like, no. It's January. I have never once looked into dresses in regards to my wedding. And there's a couple of reasons. The first one is I wear dresses a lot. I love dresses. I love dressing up. Dresses are one of my favorite things to wear. I love looking like a pretty princess. I am a dress girly through and through. There is no dress that I have not tried on at least once. And on top of that, I have even wore a wedding dress to my junior prom. So to me, I needed something that was so special that it changed my entire worldview. And I wasn't really sure if I was gonna find that. And so I hadn't even looked online or any sort of style of dress. My mom and I had asked about it. We started watching Say Yes to the Dress to kind of get my idea of like what these girls are trying on. What would you like to try on? And I basically had come to the conclusion that I had no fucking idea. I had come to the conclusion after watching a full, like, 5 seasons of Say Yes to the Dress that I had no clue what kind of dress I would like. They all equal parts looked really pretty and also really dumb. I didn't know what I wanted. You wish you liked wearing dresses more because they're so cute, right? I love dresses. I love wearing dresses. And I struggle with being a bigger girly. So I have had like the mental health struggle of like seeing myself in certain dresses that I used to pull off really well and being like, oh no, I look bad. And then I'm like, no, I just have a different body shape. So I need to look at dresses that fit that body shape now, which I suck at because I still like the same dresses that I liked when I was in high school. But in high school, I was like 120 pounds and not the same. I'm a full girl now. I'm full. I am filled up with all of the beauty that the earth has created for me, and I just need dresses to fit that mold. Oh no, just so you guys know, an ad is going to start in about a minute. So if you want to negate ads, you can subscribe to me here on Twitch. Or if you are interested at all and you don't want to deal with that, I don't know how the ad system works on YouTube because I don't make money off of YouTube. So you can at least go over to YouTube. But yeah, so I didn't know what kind of dress I wanted. And the lady at the place was like, well, a lot of my brides go to a little boutique down the street called Here's Comes the Bride. And they almost all go in there with this idea that they're not going to find anything that they want. And every single one of them is kind of out saying that they found their dress, period. And I was like, okay, not gonna be me, but okay. And so my mom and I, after looking at venues all day, were like, hey, do you want to, like, for shits and giggles, go to this wedding boutique? When I tell you guys, this is the funniest thing that has ever happened to me. Because my mom and I had no idea that what we were about to walk into was finding my wedding dress. Stop it. Get out of there. You're in trouble now. Get. Sorry, everybody. Juniper's chewing holes into her carrier, which is annoying to me because I spent good money on this before we moved out here so that she would have something to be out here in, and now she's being bad. One moment, everyone. I've got to move this now. You're chewing holes in things that you're not supposed to be chewing holes into. Bad child. I'm now shoving everything into the closet just to keep it away from you. No. No. You're being so bad. Sorry, everybody. Juniper, man. Also, if you guys saw my butt, no, you didn't. Because I was not paying attention to how my skirt was looking. So if y'all saw my butt, you didn't. Okay? Cool. Glad they're all on the same page. Anyway, where was I? So we took the advice of this lady and we decided to go over to the magical and kind of crazy Say Yes to the Dress, or not Say Yes to the, Here Comes the Bride boutique. And like I said, my mom and I had like looked at videos. We had watched Say Yes to the Dress, and I could not visualize anything I could see myself in. So we went into this boutique and we asked them about appointments. They said they were technically appointment only, but because they were kind of slow that day, they were like, if you want to, you can at least look around at the dresses, see what kind of styles you like. So they only had a pretty small section for plus size dresses, which is also like what I would have deemed a red flag for myself. They didn't have a really large selection, so I was like, well, I'm not gonna find something that I like with a selection this small. And on one side of the store, they had dresses that were like tight fitting. And then on the other side of the store, they had like A-line and ball gown dresses. Hi, everybody. Hello. Hi, Dr. Hamza. Is it Dr. Hamza or is it Hamza, like the TTS said? Hello, thank you for coming on in. I'm just talking about my wedding. So you can... I'm just talking a lot. It is Dr. Hamza. Okay. I read it right. I'm smart. Take that, TTS. But hi, welcome in. I'm good. I'm just talking about my wedding and doing a little makeup get ready with me. And, yeah, I'm doing like a deep in-depth about my wedding because I haven't talked about it ever. So, sit on back. Who are you? Who am I? Hi, my name is Aki. I run Destiny Wins Gaming. I am a variety streamer here on Twitch and over on YouTube. I am an idol and a cosplayer, and I have lots of different links all down below in my description and in my about me that are leading to everywhere and everything that I do. But today I am just engaged. So I am, like I said, I'm just talking. You really like your template? That's simple. Thank you. I put it together on Canva. I love Canva. I'd use it for everything if I could. Anyway, so back to my story. Thank you. So back to my story. I forgot what I was saying. Can I help you to make it? I cannot, unfortunately. I don't have commissions open to making backdrops for things. Sorry. So I walked into this boutique. We're looking around. They have sets of dresses, and they are looking not like a lot. My mom and I, we don't have high hopes. We do not have high hopes on this place. And we're looking at a couple of like the ones that fit like your body sexy like. And the lady is like, hey, you know, we don't have the appointments that we thought. So if you want to, you can try some dresses on now. I swear, it was like they were setting me up for failure. And failure being that like they were setting me up like to what's the word? Failure isn't like they were setting me up to find my wedding dress. Sorry, I'm struggling to think. And so we decided to try on a few dresses. We did try on a few. We tried on quite a bit. We tried on... Oh, here, I've got a couple of them. So, here, we tried on this one. And I thought it looked cute. I'm not going to deny, I looked kind of pretty. It does look really nice, and it does fit my butt kind of nice. But when they asked me about the dress, it reminded me a lot of the dress that I wore to prom. Which, as I said, I have worn a literal mermaid-style wedding dress to prom. So when they asked me how I felt about the dress, my response to it was, well, I kind of just feel like me in a dress. Which is true. I was just me in a dress. And it was not like a mean thing. It was just like, I didn't feel like the vibe. You know how people like say, I don't know how many times, if anybody's ever heard this, but you know, like how people will be like, when you find the dress, you will know. I did not believe that shit. I did not believe it until it happened. So, I am physical proof that when you find the dress, you will know. I tried this on and I thought, wow, this is just me in a dress. I just feel like myself in a dress. I look really pretty, but that's just me in a dress. And then, we tried on a couple other ones. And, give me a moment. Going back to where I thought I was. I lost the pictures of me in the dress. I'm just finding OnlyFans photos. One moment, everybody. Oh, I think it was just further down. Okay. So I tried on that dress and I liked it, but I wasn't super thrilled about it. And then I believe the next one that I tried on was this one. Yeah. So then we tried on this dress. Once again, slightly form-fitting. It had like this like back section to it that I did kind of like. I thought it kind of took away from my back fat. But me and my mom call those our back boobs. We got an extra set of titties on our backs because I have really wide shoulders. So I thought that was kind of nice. But once again, I was looking at myself and mind the hair. Like I said, we were not planning on having a bridal appointment. We were just merely there, right? So we weren't expecting this. And so we're looking at it and I was like, this is really, really pretty. But once again, I feel like myself in a dress. That's all I feel. And she was like, okay, well, how about we take a step away from the form-fitting dresses? How about we look at ball gowns? You said you liked being like a fairy princess. Like, how about ball gowns? What's your vibe for ball gowns? And I was like, okay, we can try. You know, like let's take a look-see. So the next dress that she put us in, I say us like my mom put on any dresses. It was me. The next dress she put me in was, I believe, oh God, I'm trying to look and these icons, I don't want to show you guys the dress too soon. You know what I mean? You feel me? I want you guys to see it, but I don't want it to be too soon. I want you guys to feel, I want you guys to go through the vibe with me. Okay. So the next dress that they put me in is this one. And I hated this one. I hated this dress so bad. I looked good in it. I'm not gonna deny. You can see me like in the little corner there. I didn't look bad. It was just, one, I wanted a dress. It's okay, right? It's all right. It's a good dress for somebody else. I wanted a winter wedding, and this dress has like leaves and like flowers all over it. You can't really tell. They're like almost like feathers. But to me, it's like, it looks very springtime. Like you can see like, hold on, let me just make the picture huge. See, like the front has like this beading that's kind of like feathery. I didn't like that. I didn't like any part of this dress. I was like, oh no, I found a dress I hate. And at this point, I'm kind of feeling like, okay, well, I need to go search somewhere else for dresses for girls that are more my size. Because this boutique doesn't have a big selection and what have you. The lady was like, okay, well, if you guys want, you guys can take another look around. See if you guys can find any dresses that you like or don't like. And so my mom and I walked around and we looked at the racks, like I said, fitted ones on this side, ball gowns on this side. And my mom and I are looking around and a dress catches our eye. And when I tell you that this dress looked ugly as fuck, this dress looked so stupid. It was gaudy. It had a leg slit that went up to the bodice. So like literally your coochie was hanging out. This dress was wild. And I'm looking at this dress on the rack and me and my mom are laughing at it. We're like, this thing is ugly as fuck. Why would anyone buy this? And we jump past it and we go over to another one and we're looking at them and the lady's like, okay, she's like, now that you've looked at some of them, how about you pick like one or two that you looked at that you want to try on. And I walked back over to the ball gowns and I picked out this really pretty, like ethereal, it's almost like fairy inspired, like corseted one. It was really flowy and nice and it had these little like arm cuff things. And I looked at that one and I was like, oh, this is so pretty. And I'm thinking about incorporating Dungeons and Dragons aspects into our wedding because I love Christopher and he loves Dungeons and Dragons. And I was like, okay, so this one seems like the vibe. This one seems okay. And as I'm picking out that dress, I can't help it. My eye is caught to this gaudy, gross, silly joke dress that my mom and I spent like 20 minutes making fun of. And I told the lady, I was like, can I try this one on as a joke? And she was like, yeah, sure. You can try that one on as a joke. And I was like, okay, thank you. Like, I need to try it on to make sure that I hate it as much as I hate it. And she's like, that's valid. Try it on. Make sure that you absolutely despise this thing. I was like, cool. She gets me into the dressing room to help me get into this dress. And she's like, hey, okay. You have two dresses in here. You've got this big, gaudy, gross one, and then you've got this ethereal one two completely different styles, and you are in love with this ethereal one on the rack. So which dress do you want to try on first? Do you want to try on the ethereal one first and then try on the ugly one? Or do you want to try the ugly one on first just so you can get out of the way? And I was like, I want to try on this ugly one so I can get it out of the way. Because I don't think I'm going to like it. And I think it's ridiculous. And I think it'd be funny for me and my mom to laugh at it together. And she said, okay, sounds fine. She takes this dress off of the hanger and she pulls it up over my body. And before she has even zipped it, I am crying in the mirror. And I'm like, oh God, I found my dress. Turns out I'm gaudy. I found my dress and it's gorgeous. That's not it. This is the same old one. Hold on. Don't mind me. I just clicked on the wrong picture. One moment. Where is it? Juniper is knocking over, It's this one. This is a horrible photo of it. I will find a better photo because I do have one, but this was the very first day that I tried on what is my wedding dress. So, Christopher, don't watch this VOD. This is my wedding dress. I found it. Look at how beautiful it is. And it does have like it does have some beading on it, but I feel like the sparkles take away from like the like spring-like beading. I feel like it's just this whole thing is glitter. I cannot stress enough how much this whole thing is glitter. And it sparkles like the snow, like a fresh blanket of snow on the ground. It's absolutely beautiful. It's like the most amazing experience of my life. And I put this on, like I said, this poor woman hadn't even zipped it up yet. And I was like almost in tears in the fitting room, just in complete awe over myself. I was like, oh no, I found my wedding dress TM. Like it's over for me. I found what I was looking for. And I was like, oh crap, I know exactly what this feeling is. And this feeling is the feeling of knowing like that, like you're a bride now, right? So first of all, let this be everybody else's reminder that it turns out you can indeed know when you know, because I did not think that was going to be me, and it is. It's amazing. And then I got to try it on again. I'm going to see if I can find a photo in my phone first, because I'm not sure if I have the picture in my folder or my files. If I do, it had to be in my downloads, I think, because so what happened was we accidentally found my dress. That's it. But we found it on accident. It was a random January afternoon, and we were like, oh crap, this isn't. You're supposed to go with like a bridal party. You're supposed to go with like your bridesmaids and your maid of honor. You're supposed to like do the thing. Okay? That's what you're supposed to be doing. And we didn't do that. We did not do that shit at all. So, we had to plan it again. We told the girl we were not going to buy that dress today, and we had to plan a secondary trip. No biting my stuff, please. Stop chewing on my things. I'm yelling at my rabbit. So yeah, we had to make a separate trip. And so we made a separate idea for March. This is not food. Get out of my makeup bag. Child, you're ruining my day. Why are you being like this? Okay, we're good. Sorry, just yelling at my kid again. So we had to plan a separate day for the bridal party to come out and see the dress. And we decided to make a... You know, you didn't have to do all that. Didn't have to, like, make a separate appointment. I felt like I did. It's an experience. Also, like, my mom and I did not have the money at the time to buy the dress right out after we found it. So it was more of like a, this also gives us time to save money for this expensive-ass dress. So we planned a separate trip, a separate bridal appointment. And our plan was to have my mom still come and to invite my maid of honor, Summer, and my sister out to witness, to perceive the dress in all of its glory. And we decided to set it up as an actual, a proper, bridal appointment. So mimosas existed. My bridal party got to pick out dresses for me to try on before we showed them the dress. And ironically for me, my sister knows me very well, because when the bridal party got to choose what dress for me to try on that they thought that would fit me the most, my sister chose my dress. She knows me so well. She was like, look at all these sparkles. That's totally Aki. And so I got to try on my dress again in front of my friends and my sister. So I'm gonna show it now because I found it. That's so sweet, right? Isn't it kind of nice? And what folder was this? My downloads. Okay. Had to make sure I knew where I was going. Don't mind me, everybody. Gotta scroll. Here it is. So this is me again in my wedding dress. This time with my hair all done up. And you can really see the sparkles in it this time. And that leg slit. I told you guys, the leg slit was fucking wild. The leg slit was insane. The leg slit was it went all the way up to my bodice. It was insane. But yeah, and then I was gonna do like a little quick like zoom in. There's a video. I can probably maybe show the video. But yeah, so this is like all of the glitter, and like the train is so long. I love trains. You get like the little the bodicing on the chest. Like it shows form of boob without being too over the top. And then you can see it in the back in the mirror. I'm gonna like over here. You can see it in the back of the mirror. See how it has this row of like beads going all the way, like buttons going all the way down. It's just so pretty. And I will tell you this, see that little clip? That little clip is holding on to fucking nothing. Because when they zipped me into this dress, it zipped up perfectly. Sorry, everybody. I am having issues with my headphones, and I'm hoping to God that Juniper didn't, like, chew through them. This dress zipped up into me perfectly. It was faded. And so yeah, I got to wear my dress and put it on, and I got to actually hold the little sign that said I said yes to my dress. My mom, um, bought it for me and everything. I'm just happy. And then came the moving out to Canada part. Mind you, I did all of this in March. I got engaged in August. So, like I said, I manifested. We manifesting, girls. So I cannot tell if the weird scraping is from my headphones or from this Spotify, this song. Guess we're gonna find out. I moved it over to the next one. Didn't feel like dealing with it. Yeah, so I found my dress. That's my dress. So now I have my dress in my venue, and now it's a matter of getting engaged. So I moved out here. I had instantaneous depression. And was pretty rough going for a little while. But me and Christopher stayed strong. We never had any big fights. We had a couple of like questionable moments, but like nothing too crazy. Our biggest hurdle was Christopher feeling like everything was moving too fast, which I can't deny it is, right? And it was a big hurdle for us because when Christopher gets nervous and he gets scared like that, he tends to shut down and shut out. And unfortunately for me, I'm stuck up here. So him shutting out on me just doesn't help. One, him shutting out on me doesn't help either of us. And two, it makes things kind of hard and a little complicated. And I sat him down and I actually like purposefully like really asked him, and I was like, hey, like, is this something that you still want to do? Because if it's not, and this is causing you duress, like, I should go home. I should not be here if you're not ready or willing to commit to this. And, he sat on it for like a day, and he's like, no, like, I don't want you to go. I don't want to give up on this. I'm just having a tough time dealing with the fact that it's happening so fast. And I know that like it's going to slow down eventually, but like it all feels like a lot right now, and I just have really bad anxiety. And we ended up having a good, long, communicative talk about it. I also talked to some other friends about it too when I was in my hurt, when I was deep in it. I had talked to like some other friends about the idea as well, just because I needed input. And a lot of my other friends like were questioning, like they were talking to me about like whether or not I really felt that I would potentially need this level of commitment to know that I was going to be in love and with Christopher forever. And I did sit on that for a little bit, and I ultimately decided the answer was yes. Because arguably to do something legally about being in a relationship together, basically it binds, right? It's not only just saying that you're committed to the person that you love, but it gives me a legal failsafe knowing that I'm literally leaving my country to be here. And as kind of selfish or crazy as that sounds, like I needed that, because other than that, what am I doing? Because if I had chosen to say that like I did not need that level of commitment, and say Christopher did decide that he just didn't want this anymore, I would have been shit out of luck. I just would have been shit out of luck. I would have had to find my way home with little to no money. And I would have to, tuck my tail between my legs and know that I tried something and it failed, and it might have changed my friendship forever. It might have changed my outlook forever. Like, that's a lot. So I kind of decided that I really needed that legal failsafe of being physically married with a legal binding document to state that, like, this is the thing that I'm doing. And luckily for me, Christopher did come around. And he was like, I don't want you gone. I do want you here. I'm just stressed out. And we were able to talk about that and actually have a good and reasonable conversation about it as well. Which is good. Can't ask for more than that, right? Talking is always good. It is. And me and Christopher are usually really, really good with communication, which is why this one little hiccup hurt so hard, because we are typically very good at communicating with one another. But after that, it was basically smooth sailing again. Christopher and I do not fight very often. We talk a lot of our problems out. We air our voices a lot. Christopher is a TM man. And so he struggles a lot with the idea of like being open and honest about his feelings in any given time. He's really hard about like when he's feeling in his head, actually voicing what those feelings are. So I have found that my best course of action with him on that is instead of asking him what's wrong, because he'll always tell me nothing, I will tend to ask him, what's on your mind? Something I've learned in our relationship. I'll ask him what's on his mind, and then he'll let me know, like, it's just I'm stressed about this, or I'm a little bit worried about that. And then we'll work from there, which is really nice. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to, like, make sure that the green pigment didn't get lost. Feelings are hard sometimes. They are. They are. But then that brings us to the actual engagement. I may have pressured some people into pushing Christopher along into getting properly engaged to me. Hear me out though, okay? The reason being, we had gotten into this little fight where he had been very back and forth on whether or not he wanted this level of commitment and this fast and all this stuff. We had gotten into this argument, and me and Christopher had this talk, and it was anxiety ridden for both of us. And for a little bit there, we kind of both probably felt like our world was sort of falling apart on us. And so after we had gotten through that fight, I had voiced to some friends of mine that I was feeling a little bit like I wish that he would propose sooner. The plan was always to propose on our anniversary, which is August 31st. It's the end of August and the end of our 3 months midpoint. The plan, I think, was always to propose to me on our actual anniversary. However, due to this very difficult conversation that he and I had to have, ow, I poked myself in the eyeball. Help. Due to this conversation that he and I had, I was feeling a little nervous about the state of our relationship for the future. I was nervous because my thought process was, what if Christopher does this again? What if he has this level of anxiety again and he's not able to talk about it? And what if his decision is just to pull away again? I don't want to fall into the depression that I fell into during this fight. I don't think anybody wants to do that kind of stuff, right? And so I had voiced to a friend that due to this fight in particular, I would feel more comfortable having the ring specifically so that when Christopher has moments of doubt or moments of worry, I could look at something tangible and say, I know that this is anxiety. I know that this is something that we can work on. And I was having a really hard time making that connection because I had nothing tangible. I had no commitment. I had nothing physically to tell me this man is committed and won't pull away. I had nothing like that. Which had one of the reasons that made that fight so hard for us, because I had nothing to help. And so I had told a friend of mine that this was my fear and my worry. And I was like, I think that I need that ring. And it sounds materialistic because, like, you're like, oh, I want the diamond ring. No, I need something physical. Like, he could have handed me a fucking, like, a little bread tie and said, this is your engagement ring. And I would have been like, cool, that's something tangible. Like, I did not care about, like, the ring. I needed the commitment. And I wanted something physically tangible, like I said, to be able to look at and say, this is the thing. And so I had told my friend that, and apparently she ran with that shit so quickly and was like, hey, it's time. And so on August 11th, which I found out, by the way, is the day after Taylor Swift got engaged. On August 11th, I was fooled. I kind of knew it was coming, but we'll talk about that later. I was fooled into taking a nice walk down to the pier by my home out here. There's a very beautiful pier out here that like overlooks the ocean, and it's literally within walking distance of our home. And so my friend at the time, who was an out of town friend who I'd never met in person before, had tucked me into taking a little stroll down and walking along this pier. And as we started walking along this pier, I noticed my friend Momo, who is a horrible actor. Love you, Momo. You're a horrible actor. Momo was standing there at the ready with a camera. And I asked him what was going on, and he was like, oh, nothing, just hanging out with my friends. And I was like, huh, okay. I think that was my first inkling. Momo's a really bad actor. And then as we continued down the pier, we ran into my friend Eric. Shout out to Eric B. Love that guy. And I asked Eric what he was doing here. And Eric's response was, oh, it's just a lovely day for like a walk on the pier. And I was like, that would make more sense if Eric had like a car and would actively drive to go on strolls. But Eric doesn't. I love Eric. That's not his MO. So he started walking. Also, he had a gift in his hand. That was also the thought process. Eric had like a physical, like, bagged gift in his hand. And, and we started walking, and this is a really funny story. So we started walking, Eric, Momo, me, and my friend Syrup. And we're walking down this pier headed to where I will inevitably get engaged. And this random ass man, he is a stranger. He is not our friend. He is not a person I've ever met before. He's hardly even like a neighbor. I don't even think I've even seen him around my neighborhood. Okay. This random ass man walking his dog on the pier, like, kind of stops us halfway through, and we're like, oh, like, hi. And he's like, hey. And I was like, do we know this guy? Is this guy going to also join in on the walk down the pier? He did not. Thank God. He did not join in on the walk down the pier. But he tells me that like today's like he's like, I think today is gonna be a really good day. And I'm like, okay, that's not suspect at fucking all. I was like, who is this man? I literally asked who this man was, and my friends like laughed. They're like, we literally don't know. And I was like, okay, cool, good talk. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And I got to the end of the pier, overlooking the ocean, and there is Christopher sitting on a bench. He's wearing a nice white shirt and some jeans. He dressed up for me. That's like the most this man dresses up. It's like a nice white t-shirt. But he dressed up for me. And he's sitting there with Misaki, and she's got her camera at the ready. And she's knelt over, and he's, we're talking, and he gave a really crappy story, which was that we were decided to throw a surprise goodbye to Syrup, who had been visiting from Nova Scotia, and that day specifically was literally the day she was supposed to get on the plane to go back home. And I once again would have wholeheartly believed this had it not been for the fact that Syrup was the one that led me out there. So obviously it was not a surprise for Syrup. It was clearly not a surprise for Syrup. Also, Christopher had told me that he was going to his mom's house, so that was clearly a lie. It had to have been something. I had my suspicions. I too am not a great actor, so I will admit that I was a little obvious. But yeah, they all ended up surprising me. I had turned around to give Syrup a hug, and when I turned back around, Christopher was on his knee, and he had a ring, and he told me that he loved me and that he couldn't actually wait to start life with me. Very sweet. And then he proposed to me using a fake ring. This is a funny story also, because he literally told me that the reason that he couldn't propose with the real ring is because him and his mom were too afraid that he was going to drop it in between the like in the pier somewhere. They thought he was just gonna drop it and lose it forever because he was so nervous. He was so nervous about this that he thought he was gonna drop the ring, so he proposed to me with a fake one, which I still have. It's in our bathroom. It's really cute. He proposed to me with this like cute little ring because he was so fucking nervous. And he yeah, so he ended up proposing to me with this fake ring because he was super nervous, and he was fumbling over his words. I love it. He's so cute. Silly man. And sorry, give me a second, guys. I gotta like think when you do eyeliner, because if you don't, you'll die. It is so sweet. It is. And he then surprised me. This time he actually surprised me. I was catching on because our friends are really, really bad actors, but he did actually surprise me because it turned out that Misaki was not just recording parts of the engagement. She actually had a phone up, and it was my family. He had called my whole family on Facebook and set up a group chat with them all so that he could give them a FaceTime so they could be there live for my proposal. And that is the sweetest and the most amazing thing that anybody has ever thought to do for me. I love my family so much. I'm so close with them. Leaving home has actually been one of the hardest things that I've ever done in my life. And I miss them every day, and I can't wait to see them next month. And to know that they were able to actually be a part of my proposal just meant the world to me. So thanks, Christopher. You're amazing, and I love you. Also, stop looking at the wedding dress, Christopher. Stop looking at my stream. He's not here, but if he is in the future, stop it. Yeah, so then we got engaged, and here's my little engagement photo. And then his mom gave me the actual ring, which is the ring that's on my finger now. And as you can tell, my fat, chubby fingers don't actually fit in this ring very well. Like, it's stuck on there, and it's fine. I'm okay with that. You can pry it off my cold, dead finger. But his mom brought the actual ring, and I wear the ring now every day. Yay. And I am engaged, proper, yippee. And, yeah. So that's a story timeline. Then we have the drama. So I'm gonna finish my eyeliner on this eye, and then we could talk about the drama. It's so hard to do eyeliner without it getting some level of fucked up. Does that look alright? There's a side note. I think I've mentioned this before, but I will mention it to the ends of my days. This is the LA Colors eye marker. That rhinestone is mine, but this is the LA Colors eye marker. Okay? And this is single-handedly the best eyeliner I've ever owned. It stays on for days. It is precision. It is nice. It is gorgeous. And LA Colors is a Dollar Tree brand, which means you are buying this bad boy for $1.25. Love this thing. It's my ride or die, and it's from the dollar store. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Like doing my eye makeup so I don't like fuck it up somehow, some way. I don't want it to get fucked up. Nervous. Holy shit. I think that the phone might be close to dying. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. We'll get to it. Anyway, I got the eyeliner done. I'm going to actually go in with my white eyeliner for the bottom lid for my tight lining, just because I think that that would look pretty with the vibe I've got going on. The golds. Maybe I'm crazy. So there's drama afoot with my wedding. So much drama afoot with the wedding. And it starts with my lovely fiance and the fact that my lovely fiance has too many damn friends. That's it, boys. My fiance has friends. What are those? Cannot relate. When Christopher and I first started talking about wedding parties, Christopher let me know that he wanted all of his closest friends to be in his groomsmen. He wanted, like, every friend that he talks to on a regular basis to be a groomsman. And I was like, listen, really? And he's like, yes. And he's like, I love these guys. These are my favorite people. I spend all my time with them. I love my friends. I want them all to be groomsmen. Yay. And I was like, okay. Okay. So that means that my fiance has 7 groomsmen. There are 8 men total in his party, including himself. It is him and 7 other dudes. 7. That's so many people. That's so many fucking people. I ain't got that many friends. And you're kind of supposed to try to keep the wedding party even on both sides. Because typically when you have them walk down the aisle together, you have them walk down the aisle together. So typically, you have equal bridesmaids to groomsmen walking down the aisle together. So this fucker has 7 groomsmen. That means I have to have 7 bridesmaids. Spoiler alert, chat. I do not have 7 bridesmaids. I've got 5, 6. Hold on. I have 6 as of now. I have 6 bridesmaids. And it took me a hot minute to get them. I'll be super real. I did not have them under locked and loaded. I did not have them at the ready saying, I know exactly what bridesmaids I'm going to ask. I did not. I had a whole different list of different bridesmaids that ended up not working out because of money constraints and time constraints and the fact that I'm getting married in America and not in Canada. I had issues with finding bridesmaids that I deemed were close enough friends, because you want your bridal party to be your closest friends, so people that you want to celebrate with, and then your sometimes your family's in there, right? So my sister is part of my bridal party, and so I struggled. Okay, I struggled, chat, to find even 6 people total, and I'm still 1 short. Okay? And I exhausted every extra resource I had. I was ask some friends that I had in high school that I only reconnected with last year. You're bridesmaids now. I'm ask my brother's girlfriend, even though I barely speak to her outside of family events. She's a bridesmaid now, I guess. Yeah, just scraping the bottom of the barrel I am for friends, because my fiance wanted 7 fucking groomsmen. So that was my first hiccup. Our second hiccup was bridesmaids' dresses. Now, I've had a couple of talks with my family. I've had a couple talks with some friends. And so now I guess I'll put it to a vote for you guys, chat. Who should be the person making the decision about the bridesmaids' dresses? Is it A, the bride, B, the bride's mother, C, the bridesmaids? Cast your votes now. Just cast your votes. I'm going to finish up my mascara while you guys ponder on that. Alrighty, let's see. I want to get the bottom lashes in there, but they're slightly coated. Alright, guys. I'm glad that you guys had time to think. If you answered the bride, what you did, Katie, you'd be fucking correct. I am not a girl who is a bridezilla. My entire life is not like the whole wedding revolves around me and it needs to be about me and me alone. That is not who I am as a person. I am a family-oriented girly. I love my fiance and I want him to have a good time girly. Okay, I am all of these girlies. Okay? So, the fact that I had to fight tooth and nail about my decision on bridesmaids' dresses for weeks is astonishing. Absolutely astonishing. Like, first of all, I came into the chat. I have a group chat with my mom and my sister. We are close. We love each other. We talk shit all day long. I do love my mom and sister time. Okay? I have a group chat with my mom and my sister. I love them all to pieces. I came into the group chat with my mom and my sister. Okay, guys? Came into the group chat with my mother and my sister. And they were arguing over my bridesmaids' dresses. At this point, I had not even chosen one. They were sending each other links back and forth, trying to decide what bridesmaids' dresses I should have my bridesmaids wear. Red flag number 1. I came into the chat and I said, hey, like, what are we talking about? And they're like, what do you want your bridesmaids dresses to look like? And I'm like, I haven't thought about that. I just got engaged and I'm just trying to get my life together, period. Have not really thought about what I want the bridesmaids to wear yet. I've got a couple of months, you know? I can look into it or whatever. My sister, sorry everybody. I don't know what it is about doing makeup, and I don't have any Q-tips on me either. So, I don't know what it is about doing makeup, but it, like, always makes my nose run. Like, right when I don't need it to run, like, my nose is just like, hey, wouldn't it be really funny? Wet. That's, like, the grossest thing. I'm like, I'm a pretty girly with makeup on, and I'm like... Great. I'm great. So I came into the chat with my mom and my sister fighting over bridesmaids dresses. And they tell me, they're like, hey, what kind of bridesmaids dresses do you want your bridesmaids to wear? And I said, I have no fucking clue. Thank you. I have not looked into that yet. And my sister's like, well, you should probably look into it because bridesmaids dresses can sometimes take a little bit longer to deliver. So, you know, you should have some picked out. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll do that. So I go on to Azazi, which is where we got our bridesmaids dresses. And I'm looking at all the dresses because, you know, it's easy to look online. And I asked my sister about Azazi because she actually purchased her like when she was in, okay, sorry. When she was in her friend's bridal party, a few years ago, they wore Azazi dresses. So I asked her about what she thought in regards to getting Azazi dresses. And she said, yeah, Azazi's like good. Sometimes they take a little bit longer to deliver, so just, you know, whatever, make your choices. I looked through them while my mom and my sister were arguing back and forth, and I came across a dress that I really liked. Thought it was really pretty. It was a simple green dress. Now, I guess this is a random thing for you guys, if you didn't notice by the color of my eyes. My wedding colors are dark green, white like snow, and gold. The main emphasis being on the dark greens and the golds, with white as the accent color typically. So I was looking online on Azazi and I found a dress, And the dress was kind of cute. The dress was a, not really sure if I have a picture of it. Let me grab it real quick. I'm not sure if I have a photo. Give me one moment. I'm gonna grab it real quick. But I went on Azazi and I'm looking through and I'm like, oh, you know what? Like, I kind of like this dress. It's simple green, but it kind of, it's kind of like loose, nicely fitting up here, kind of flowy. And it has sort of like short capped sleeves that are kind of flowy. And it kind of cinches down near the waist. And then it's just a long floor length gown. It's not too crazy. It's not too sexy. It's not too anything. I'm like, you know what? I love the bridesmaids and they're going to look nice, but they don't have to look hotter than me. And I already have a leg slit that goes up to my coochie. So, I found this dress and I thought it was really pretty. It is simple and it's nice. And my thought process for it, sorry everybody, one moment. My thought process for the dress was, if it is a simple dress, Christopher is gonna be so confused because I was just in our DMs and that's what I'm doing now. Stop it. Okay, so I find the simple dress. My bad. Oh, it sounds like you had a cousin who used dark green for her wedding. Hell yeah! Dark green girlies rise up. So I found this dress on Azazi, and it's really simple, it's really pretty, and I thought, okay, well, if I buy a pretty simple dress, I can accent it by having the girls get gold belts off of, like, Amazon, or jeweled belts, because my plan is to wear a gold tiara, because I'm a fucking princess. Me just being so sassy. I'm a motherfucking princess, bitch. So I find this dress. And I'll keep this up here because the ad break just started. So once again, if you are not subscribed, you should probably do that. But I'll keep the picture up here for once the ad break ends. Don't worry, it will stay up there. Got 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds. There we go. Hello, welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you guys are all welcomed back. Hi. Yeah, so this is a dress I chose. This is a beautiful dress that I chose for my wedding. I thought it was really cute. Having all the bridesmaids in this, and then me in that stark white, and then having them with like gold accents, and then I would have like some green accents. I feel like that would just look so pretty. And so I picked out this dress. I was like, I like this dress. My sister goes, that's a nice dress. And my mom goes, yeah, that's a nice dress. This is important for later. Okay, this is important for later. So they all told me that's a nice dress. And I'm like, hell yeah, I did it. I picked out my bridesmaid's dress. I'm golden. I don't have to worry about this anymore. Why would I have to worry about the bridesmaid's dress? Because I already did it. I was so excited that I figured it out, and I was like, all right, cool, I'm done. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. And then, not 2 days later from this decision, okay, 2 days later, my mom, who is in she's lost, okay, she's in a sea of figuring out the venue stuff and figuring out all this other crap, okay? My mom is in a sea, just completely lost upon herself. And she tells me, well, we need to figure out what bridesmaids dresses your bridesmaids are gonna wear. And I say, hey mom, I already picked out the bridesmaids dresses. I showed it to you the other day. You and Jacqueline said it will look great. And my mom goes, really? I don't remember. And I'm like, okay, sure. My mom doesn't remember. She's stressed. I sent her the link. And then my mother comes back to me after I sent her this link, and she goes, oh, thank you. I also like showing you guys. It's a show and tell. Show and talk your ears off. My mom comes to me and she goes, I didn't like that. I thought that was too summery. Hey, Andrew. My mom thinks that this dress is too summery. Like, listen, I get that it has short sleeves, but what other part of this dress screams summer to you? I don't see it. I don't see it, guys. I really don't. And my mom's like, I didn't like that dress. I thought it was too summery. And I was like, that is fucking wild, actually. Hello, friend. Hi. And so my mom's like, I don't like that dress. How about we look for another one? And I was like, I picked out the dress. Okay, I thought I was done. thought I was done with this, guys. It turns out I was not, and everything sucked for like a week. And I got stressed. I got so stressed out. And I'm suddenly on a Zazie again, and I'm looking up freaking dresses left and right, trying to figure out what dress could look right. It just, I don't know I don't know what my family was smoking. Genuinely could not tell you what strain of drugs they were on. They were on something. I also realized that I didn't tell you any of the products that I use. So if anybody is interested in the actual makeup stuff, I will put it in the VOD on the YouTube side so you guys can look at it. When's the RSVP again? The 31st. Yes, I believe it's Halloween. I believe that it's Halloween. I wanted to give you guys the whole month to be able to return it. I'm giving you have like 3 weeks to find a date, Andrew. Or else you're just going to have to come alone and hang out with me. It is Halloween. It is Halloween. So I start freaking out and I'm looking on a Zazie again because I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. My mom doesn't like the dress and she keeps like telling me that she doesn't like this dress. And then at the same time, you're going to bring Michael? Oh, cool. Oh, hell yeah. Fun. So at the same time, my mom is telling me this, my cousin, who does not have Facebook, does not have Instagram, does not have Snapchat, does not have like anything in the online social media sphere, and myself, who has been living in Canada and had at the time no cell phone service and could not text, okay, we're communicating via email. And I had told my cousin, hey, do you want to come to my wedding and be a bridesmaid? And my cousin said, hell yeah. And I said, cool. And I sent her the link. And I said, this is the bridesmaid's dress. And my cousin gets back to me with the same fucking concept. And she tells me, oh, I don't really like that dress because I don't like my arms. Now, I will be honest, I understand that a lot of people, like, I don't like my arms, okay? Look at this. I apparently don't care enough about my arms to show the entire internet how flabby I am, at risk of all the people who constantly come into my chat to tell me that I'm a fat pig. That's cool. But, like, I understand the not liking your arms bit, okay? I get it. But also, like, it's nothing to do with you. People ain't gonna be looking at you anyway. Thanks. And I told her that, like, I was going to be looking into shawls for the bridesmaids anyway, for, like, pictures, because I'm planning on doing photography before the wedding outside, like, with our wedding party and stuff, because I wanted, you know, nature and stuff. Like, I wanted to look, my theme has pine cones in it. Like, I want it to look wintry. And so I told her, I was like, I'm going to be looking into shawls, so you don't have to worry about that. And then she was like, well, like, I don't really like my arms, and I don't really like this dress. And then she sends me a set of, like, 6 links And she's like, can any of these dresses work? Like, this one's kind of cool and fantasy-like. And I was like, this has nothing to do with my wedding. I'm just, not to sound mean, but like, what the fuck, people? Under what circumstances is it your decision? What? So, once again, I'm on a rail of like, what do I do? How do I do this? How do I make things look nice? What is going on? How do I make everyone around me happy without stressing myself out to the point that I want to just throw myself off a cliff? Eventually, the answer was, I just have to put my foot down. I know that that's like you in the chat are probably looking at me and listening to me and being like, well, yeah, Aki, that's pretty much like it. You just have to put your foot down and tell them like, no, this is your wedding. That is so hard to do when you're a chronic people pleaser. Okay. I was mortified at the idea that I would have to tell my family no. I was horrified. So it took me like a week. It did. It took me like a week to settle on the fact that I needed to tell my family to fuck right off. And so I eventually did. Told my family to fuck off. And I said, this is the dress. This is our dress. And we will get... Next time I'll put on a vlog, we can tell them no for you. Thank you, Syrup. This is our dress. It looks cute. It's long. It's floor length. And it's pretty. And we'll get them some gold accents. And they will all look super nice wearing it next to me. And I look hot as fuck. Also, yes. Hi, Syrup. So I put my foot down. And my family was like, oh, shit. Okay. They were so chill about it. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, apparently I just had to be mean. And then we moved on to... What did we move on to? After we had the bridesmaid's dresses settled. Then we had the issue of the venue. So... I think I said at the beginning, we chose a really, really nice venue to have our venue at. It's this one. So this is a really, really pretty venue. Okay. Obviously ignore the purple. Our stuff is gonna be green. But yeah, this is our venue. Like, you guys can't see my face anymore, but this is our venue. Okay. And this is just a side note, but if you guys look at the bottom corner over here, it says Jolie Images. That's my photographer as well. So we got this venue. And one of the reasons that we really, really like this venue is because this venue came with a wedding package. And the wedding package included the dinners, the cake, the hours of dancing, the open bar, and it included all of this stuff for you that you could use for your wedding. And we were excited about that because it's stressful to plan a wedding, especially when you don't have a wedding planner. TM. And so, oh god, this is like really pink, huh? I need more lip stuff. I don't do lipstick stuff very often, so the only colors I have is this Vivid Hot Lacquer by Maybelline and Bright Red Horror Lipstick, also by Maybelline. Bright Red Horror Lipstick, Vivid Hot Pink Lipstick. This one kind of just looks like my lips, if I'm being honest. Okay, well, we'll just go back. We'll just keep with this one, I guess. Anyway, sorry, tangent about makeup. So then we had the stress with the venue because my mom and my sister went out to taste test the menus. And Christopher and I were under the impression... Sorry, ready? Christopher and I were under the impression that if you went with their package, that you paid per plate. So you would pay per meal. Now, obviously, you don't want every person under the sun ordering like as if they get off, like they just get any menu on the any item on the menu that they want, right? Like obviously that's not the case. But we kind of thought what would happen is that we would get our head counts and we would get the options that people wanted. And then we would go to the menu, 2 or 3 weeks before and say, hey, this many people want chicken entrees, this many people want beef entrees, this many people want vegetarian entrees. And then we got to choose which entrees in those categories we would be paying for. So that's kind of like the thought process that we had. Apparently, and this is horrible writing in their stuff, apparently that's not the case. Apparently, if you have anything over one option, they like charge you extra to have a different package. And I was like, that's dumb. And their way of getting around some of that stuff is like, say for example, like my friend is vegetarian. She does not eat meat. And they were like, well, you would put that down as a dietary restriction instead. And then we would work on options of getting her a vegetarian meal. Whereas it's not just on the RSVP card. It's not just on the thing that says you get this. And so me and Christopher had to talk about that for a while because we're under the impression that we would get a beef and a chicken meal. And it turns out that's not the fucking case. So we had to talk about it for a little bit and we decided like, okay, what is the most logical option for everyone? And we had settled on chicken. So now if you're coming to our wedding, unfortunately, you're just given a chicken meal. You're not going to get a beef meal. I will say the chicken was super good, my mom claimed. The potato that we chose was super delicious. The vegetable that we chose was super delicious. Like everybody praised the food altogether. It just hurts me a little bit to know that like you're paying per plate and you don't really get an option. And that kind of sucked for me, especially knowing that I'm paying per plate. Like if I was paying like a flat price, like, hey, you're gonna only get chicken, but you get this flat rate, then sure. But I was paying per person, per plate, and I don't even get to choose what they get on it. Kind of annoying. So keep that in mind. If you ever plan a fucking wedding, ask your venue person. But that's okay. We settled on chicken. We're not too hurt about it. We did offer to do kids' meals as a separate option because we have a lot of children coming to our wedding. Like a lot. A copious amount of children. So we were like, kids' meals are second meal. And then vegetarian options are technically under dietary restrictions, which I do hate, but it is what it is. And then after figuring that out, then it was a matter of figuring out the save the dates. So, I have a picture of the save the dates too. Hold on. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to show you all of our stuff. I'm going to show you everything. You guys are going to be so excited. I already finished my makeup, but it's okay because now we can just chit chat and I can show you all the pretty pictures. I'm so excited about that. I'm so fucking lame. Okay. Let me show you my save the dates. Which, by the way, I don't think anybody genuinely thought about this when they made the term save the date, because if you abbreviate save the date, it's just STD. Yeah. Anyway. So these were our save the dates that we sent out, and I just doxed myself, but that's okay. Fuck it, I don't care. Fuck it, we ball. I will have to, like, I'm gonna go into Canva real quick and fix my invitation before I dox our last names, because I'm not gonna do that. Hey guys, it's been 5 years. My name is Kendall. Whoa! I go by Aki Online because people suck. So, this is just for you guys. This is our save the date. I made it on Canva. We are pulling off a wedding on a budget Because my grandmother's life insurance policy, yeah, very. My mom, my sister, everybody in my family, yeah, I know. My grandmother's life insurance policy only covered the venue. Okay, my mom paid for my dress, and to save money, I designed our save the dates and our invitations and our RSVP cards. So I did this on Canva. But welcome to our save the date. It's really pretty. I think it incorporates a good chunk of what I want. I only know you as Aki, and that's what you shall be. That's so true. Even when we dated, Andrew would only call me Aki. True story, everybody. When me and Andrew dated, he only called me Aki. You won't remember that? That's good. So this is our save the date. I think I tried to incorporate as much as I could of what I wanted. The gold, the green, the white, pine cones. Those are like the big staples. Get the colors in there, get the snow in there, get the pine cones in there. I wanted this to be nature and wintry. That was the vibe. So this was our save the date, and all of our friends received it in this really cute gold envelope with like really cute green envelope with gold lines and a gold little seal. I have a picture. Quimus. No Quimus. No Quimus. Just winter. I was very aggressive about not adding a single bit of red into it, and that will come. I will explain that in a second. I was very aggressive about not having any red in our wedding, and then Christopher fucked me over. Okay, hold on. This lo-fi has lyrics, and I don't like that. I'll do this one. Okay. But I have a picture of the envelope, too, because luckily for me, Misaki sent me one. Here it is. We'll download that and send it, and then we'll post that, too. So this is a cute little save the date, and it came in this cute little envelope that me and my mom bought. Misaki, I'm sorry. I'm just going to send this directly back to you so I can steal it off of Discord. Wow. It's kind of fun. I like this little show and tell. I know Katie mentioned that this was kind of fun. I like it too, by the way, Katie. I enjoy it also. So it came in this cute little green envelope with this little gold sticker seal with a little heart on it. Look how cute. Ah. It was very pretty. And we sent this out to all of our friends and to all of our family. And my mom bought these really pretty compass international stamps so that they could be traveled to Canada without any issue. She bought these really pretty like compass international stamps to go on the top because she wanted to look all fancy. And if you're wondering why I made such a big fuss about the international stamps, I will explain in a moment. So we sent out our save the dates. It took us an aggressively long time to get our save the dates out. In fact, I think we ended up sending the save the dates. My mom actually sent them before we got engaged, technically. So we sent our save the dates out. So literally like within a couple of days of getting engaged, our friends were like, "Oh, I got the save the date." And I was like, "Cool." Good. And then it was a matter of getting the invitation set up. So I needed, after we got engaged, I was like, we need to take engagement photos so that we can get the invitations out. Which is, I think I got rid of the photo, but it's okay. The photo that I had up here with me and Christopher, and I had my face on his hand. No, my hand on his face. I short-circuited so hard. Hold on. The picture that I had with my hand. Oh my god, my hand was on his face. That became our engagement photo that I shared to the whole world. Yeah, I'm literally stroking out. It's fine. Don't worry about me. Go on, everybody. Go on. Leave me behind. It was this photo. This photo became our engagement photo, like the engagement photo. I do have lots of photos from that photo shoot. Got a couple of them where we're like kind of holding hands, but my ring is showing. We have a couple of solo photos. Can we just talk about? I know my hand is covering his face, but look how hot this man is. Peak man could never be like so hot, so attracted to him every 2 seconds. In fact, before I started stream on YouTube, because I didn't want to get like doxed or not doxed, it's not DMCA. They literally just silence your video on YouTube. And I knew that would especially happen because I was playing Taylor Swift's new album. But she has a lyric in her new album that's like I just want a best friend who is hot, who I think is hot, and that. Look at him. Here, I got a photo. I'm gonna send it to Misaki so that I can show you guys. He's so cute. I'm gonna send all these photos to Misaki and Yo so you guys can all see them. Very excited about it. Don't worry. Oh, also, I want you guys to know that I took a picture of Christopher and then he immediately took a picture of me. But the picture of me, not the same as taking the picture of Christopher. Misaki's gonna see it. I'll show all of you guys in a moment. So this became our engagement photo. And here's a couple of other photos from the set. I'm just gonna put them up as a, I'm gonna put them up as like a slideshow. I think I can do that. I think if I save them, all the pictures individually, I can put them up as a slideshow. I think I can just actually download these as they are. I don't actually have to change them. I was always taught in school to like change the file names so that people don't track them. And I'm like, I don't actually care, actually. Okay. I'm going to add them. Yeah, the Jerry laugh. You love this, right? Okay. So let's add, I think I can do a slideshow. Image slideshow. Engagement photo shoot. Image files. Add files. Okay. So this is the photos of our photo shoot. These are the unedited ones. Look at that man! And then look at the photo he took of me. I'm gonna keep these ones up. These are actually kind of cute. I kind of like this. They're kind of adorable. It's gonna put that bad boy over there. It's kind of cute. I kind of like it over there. It's kind of nice. It's kind of, I kind of like it, guys. It's kind of cute. We look so happy. I'm so happy. I took such a nice photo of this man, and then he took a photo of me, and I'm like, anyway, so back to our save the date photo. So this was our engagement photo, and we decided that we had to make we had a very short amount of time to make the invitations. As you guys know, you need ample time for people to return RSVPs and to also send them out. Like, send out the invitations, people receiving the invitations, people filling out the RSVPs, people sending them back in, and you receiving them all before your wedding. It has occurred to me how horribly deviated my septum is. Look at that. Look at the difference in these nostrils. I'm learning things about myself. I have learned things about myself in this stream today, guys. I'm glad that you guys are all here with me for that. So, we had to make the invitations, and I need to fix them on Canva so that I don't dox myself. You're so right. Is that how you could tell? Yeah, look at it. Yeah. Sure can. Misaki is learning things about herself. Or possibly Nelrond. She's probably learning things about both of them. I'm gonna make this. Haha. Aki. Oh, this is, make this. Do that. Okay. I'm just fixing this real quick so that you guys don't see our legal last names. That's all. That's all, everybody. Just fixing it so that you guys don't see our legal last names. And I'm going to omit where we're getting married. Because I don't want to dox my existence. So, just so y'all know. Just so you're aware of what's going on. Why is this so sheer? I don't want to know, actually. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm very confused with Canva at the moment. Sorry, everybody. That doesn't help anything. All right. So, okay, here we go. Just gonna download it. Sorry, everybody. Got very distracted with myself. That's downloading right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring it over. Mr. and Mrs. Destiny wins. I actually like that. It's kind of cute. All right, so this is our invitation. I once again made it on Canva. Or are they Mr. and Mrs. the Human? I did find out, and obviously this is not true for after you're married, but when you are getting married, the bride's name always goes first. Always the bride's name first. It's weird. And then my mom also bought like these cute little things that said like our return address on the envelopes are like to the future Mr. and Mrs. the Human. The Human. But yeah, so this is our wedding invitation. I took off the address so that you guys wouldn't know when we're getting married. Because I'm stupid on the internet, but I'm not that stupid. I don't need people crashing my wedding. That's... Like, I'm already spending way too much money. I can't have you crashing my wedding. But yeah, here is our little invitation. I made it. If you hyphenate it, then it's Destiny Wins Gaming the Human. I don't like that. That one... Wild concept. Now I'm going to delete a lot of this stuff because I don't want you guys to have access to areas where I live. Right? But I'm gonna show you guys the details sheet, the bare basics. It's not gonna have any addresses on it, but it's gonna show like where they would go, right? And so this was our Ollie the Human Gaming. Ollie the Human Gaming. Kind of just sounds like he's doing something. Like he's gaming. Here is our details sheet. And yes, that QR code does work in case anybody ever wanted to buy us stuff. That QR code goes to our wedding website, which I can show you guys if you guys want to see, although I think it does have, oh, I fucked up. One moment, I accidentally. Yes, please delete real information. Yes, literally. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna take a mini look, see, go, wow. And I'm gonna type it in. I can't show you our wedding website because it sure does have our legal last names on it. Sorry, you can't go on there unless you scan that QR code. Oops. Wedding registry. Yeah, so yeah, and I do got I've got all these cool things. I did make a whole wedding registry, which is kind of cool. Oh wait, here. I could show you guys this part. Hold on. So, I got our little story, and I got all of our little photos from us dating in here. And then our first cosplay photo. And then us at Disney World. And then us at Thanksgiving last year. And then us driving here when I moved out, and then our grandma photo. Isn't that cute? It's so cute. I worked so hard on it. Oh my god, my wedding's in 9 weeks? I have a countdown. I didn't realize it was that close. Guys, my wedding's only in 9 weeks. What? That's not okay. That's not okay. That's crazy. But actually that reminds me that I can go into my next kind of drama, which is the wedding cake. Now the wedding cake doesn't really have a whole lot of drama to it, to be completely honest with you. We're getting a wedding cake. Ka-chow. That is indeed mostly it, is that we are getting a wedding cake. I need to go to this one, and I need to look at this. The absolute way that Facebook sucks now. Facebook has always sucked, but it sucks worse now. It sucks worse now. So we have, we are getting our wedding cake, and my mom and I were talking about how we would want the wedding cake to look like. And my mom and I have settled on getting a hexagonal. Facebook isn't AI written hellscape. It is. We were talking about getting a hexagonal wedding cake. And I am downloading the photo right now of their little thingy. Here we go. And yet another photo finds its way into Misaki's DMs because she's the only one here. Ka-chow. So we decided on getting a hexagonal wedding cake, white wedding cake with the sides being sprinkled in a icing sugar that sparkles, so it kind of looks like snow, and doing accents of pine cones on it, dusted with powdered sugar to look like they're like dusted with snow. And I've said snow like this 3 times because I'm just that excited about it. Don't talk about it. It's fine. So this is what my wrong thing. I clicked on the wrong thing. One moment, everybody. Let's see. Oh, save image. I accidentally opened the wrong thing. That was on me. Okay. Now we can do this one. And you guys can take a look, see at what my cake's gonna look like. There it this is the way that my cake is going to look for my wedding. So every other side is going to be smooth, and then they're going to move off with like a clear kind of sparkle sugar for like that snowed effect. And then we have like little pine cones with gold balls and like leaves to kind of tie in the green and the gold. It's just gonna look so pretty, and I'm so excited. And ironically, we're doing a hexagonal shape to make it kind of match abstractly to a D20. I've got a D20 here. I can show you guys. I know most of you guys know what a D20 looks like, but this also gives me an excuse to pull out my duck dice. And I will never, ever say no to my duck dice. That reminds me, guys, I have to show you guys the boutonnieres. Okay, hold on. So here's the D20. I forget that the camera's down here now. That's on me. There's a D20. There you guys go. There's a duck. So it's like hexagonal in shape. And so we're making the cake hexagonal to kind of match that. Cause I'm cool and smart. Oh no, I dropped my D4. Cause I'm cool and smart. So that's our wedding cake. Now, the drama behind the wedding cake is not the cake itself. It is Christopher. Because Syrup can probably attest, and most of you guys could probably attest. I knocked over so many things just now. Like my water bottle. I'm sorry, Juniper. I need that back. Thank you. My bad, everybody. Yeah, duck dice. Thank you to Summer. She bought these for me. She loves me. I love her. My duck dice. I made a hard point, an aggressive, an egregiously rude point. Okay? No red in my wedding. I do not want it Christmas themed. I want our wedding to be winter themed. I want the dark greens of the evergreen trees, the bright stark white of snow, the dark browns of the wet wood, and I want gold as the accent colors. I do not want my wedding to resemble Christmas. Okay? And I realize it's hard. I realize that it's difficult to do a green and gold winter wedding without Christmas. In fact, one of the issues with our venue is that they refuse to take a Christmas tree out of the room that we are going to be renting for our wedding. They're like, well, the Christmas tree is just going to be there and you're going to have to deal with it. And we're like, we don't want a Christmas tree. And they're like, not our problem. We're like, oh my God, we're going to move this Christmas tree. Forgot about that. So the venue also was kind of rude about the Christmas tree. They won't move the Christmas tree out of our venue. I don't know why. It's just a fucking Christmas tree. But I was really rude. Like, if I had any bridezilla moments within planning for my wedding this year, it would have been that I did not want any red in my wedding, and I did not want my wedding to be associated in any way, shape, or form with a Christmas-themed wedding. I was so rude about this. I was so aggressive about this. And then I asked Chris what cake he wanted for our wedding. What was his favorite cake? And now I know the answer. I don't know why that is like that, but that's okay. Sorry, everybody. I know the answer. I was hoping he would say a different one for the sake of me. But Christopher told me that his favorite cake and the cake that he wants at our wedding is red velvet. I worked so hard, everybody. I worked so hard for months to make sure no red escaped the Christmas and ended up in my wedding. And then my fiance says, I want a red cake. We are going to have a red velvet cake. I'm not going to deny him his favorite cake for the sake of my wedding. I'm not that bad of a bridezilla. But man, he would do that to me. The ultimate betrayal. I'm like, I don't want red in our wedding. And he's like, ha, red cake. Everyone's going to eat red, bitch. He would. And, so yeah, we're gonna have red velvet cake. Yeah, the outside will be white, obviously. With the cream cheese frosting, it's gonna be white. It's not that bad. It's also, yeah, I do think it's a pretty dark red. My mom and sister got to try them. I never got to try my cake, so I'm hopeful that it's gonna taste okay. But this is a weird part, and the part that kind of sucks about planning your wedding when you live a country away from where your wedding's going to be. I didn't get to taste test the meal that people are going to be eating at my wedding, including myself. I did not get to taste test my wedding cake. So, here's to hoping they taste good. I'm sure that they're going to taste fine, but yeah, I have no idea. It's cool, but I have no idea. My mom tried it. She said it was good. My sister tried it. She's my resident red velvet expert. She said it was good, so it must be all right. So yeah. And, so red velvet is our cake. And that's the only red thing in my wedding, and is the only red thing I will allow. Although, I am a little bit nervous, as it is the 10th of this month, and I am currently dealing with the Red Death of the month. So hopefully that also doesn't sneak around for my wedding. For anyone confused, I'm talking about my period. I would fucking kill somebody if I got my period at my wedding. I would probably get it though. That's gotta be. Like, just like my luck, right? That's just, it is. Anyway. What's the next step? What have I done now? Oh! We can talk about the groomsmen. So we've talked about the bridesmaids and the bridesmaids' dresses. Now we can talk about the groomsmen and their tuxes. Because that was a shit show. I went online when I moved up here, and I knew that I was going to be doing a lot of my wedding planning virtually over the phone or virtually online. I was looking into online suit rentals, and constantly and consistently, as the algorithms do, I was getting force-fed the idea of Generation Tux. Now, Generation Tux is an online showroom that allows you to rent tuxes and design your tux as much as you want, and then they will ship them anywhere for try-ons and for the rentals, and then all you have to do is ship them back, and then you're done. And you don't have to pay any extra fees or whatever. Okay? So when I knew I was going to be doing this online, I was like, okay, cool, let's do Generation Tux. It's being force-fed down my throat, so let's try it. I went online, I checked out their thing. It looked so nice. It looked so good. I was like, this is gonna be what we're gonna do. In fact, I thought that I had the tuxes done before I had my bridesmaids' dresses done. I thought I was solid. I thought I was golden. Okay? I was not. It was a lie. The whole world is a lie. The world fucking hates me and just wants me to suffer. So, I had Generation Tux up for months. And I told people, like, oh, I'm just gonna, like, work on it a little bit, and then I'll get all your emails and everything and get going. I got, like, a email from, like, my brother, or a message from my brother a few weeks ago, and he was like, hey, it's about that time, like, are we gonna get the emails soon? And I was like, oh, right, let me look into it. It was at this point that I learned that when Generation Tux says that they'll ship anywhere, they only meant anywhere in the United States. I'm getting married in the United States, this is true, but Christopher's groomsmen live here in Vancouver. There is no way I can have them shipped to try on their tuxes, not in Vancouver. So the idea of getting Generation Tux immediately crumbled in my hands. After months of thinking that that shit was done, by the way, months of believing that that shit was done, I done did a fucky wucky. Great, good for me. So I yeah. So I had to very last minute figure out something else. And so me and Christopher talked and we were like, hey, Men's Warehouse has a Canadian sister store called Moore's. Can we call them and see if they do, and it was kind of a long shot, right? See if they can work, like if their servers work internationally, because they're sister stores. So Christopher called the Moores out here in Vancouver, and the person on the phone was an idiot, because the person on the phone was like, oh yeah, it should be fine. You can pick them up anywhere. As long as you make a group code for the groomsmen. And Christopher was like, all right, cool, bet. Yeah. Yeah, no, the person was, I don't know if it's, I can't be quick to say that that person was an idiot, because it could have been miscommunication on Christopher's part. I didn't quite hear the whole conversation, right? But the guy who Christopher called meant to say that if they made a group code, they could pick up anywhere in Canada. The answer being that they could not pick up in America because the source servers are not connected. So I called Men's Warehouse the next day and got it confirmed that they are not the same. And we weighed both options on whether or not they should just do Moore's and then my dad and my brother should do Men's Warehouse because they're the same carrier or what have you. But then we ultimately decided that Men's Warehouse would be the smarter choice. It would be smarter and more financially logical to send the boys to America and pay an American currency at a Men's Warehouse than it would be to get them at Moore's. The reason being is that Men's Warehouse and Moore's have a late penalty fee. So you can rent your tux for an event, say a wedding, and you would get it up to 2 days before the event. And then you would have to return it the day after the event. So you would return it the day after the event. And then for each day that you did not return it after that, you'd be charged a fee of like 20 bucks or 30. No, I think it was 30 bucks a day. So for like $30 a day, you would have to pay an extra fee if you didn't return it the day after. Now the problem is that Moore's is only in Canada, and it's also, they would be going back to Vancouver. But the groomsmen are planning on staying in Chicago for the weekend. So they're flying in on Wednesday or Thursday, and they're not leaving until Sunday, which means that they would be charged $60 extra on top of their rental fee just to return their tuxes on the Monday rather than the day after the wedding. So we decided to go with Men's Warehouse, and there's a Men's Warehouse just across the border into Washington from here. So all of the boys packed up and went to Men's Warehouse, and they all got to try on their little outfits. They all got to try on their fancy schmancy stuff. I don't have them saved. Wah. Wah. Let's see. One moment, everybody. So they all got to go down and they tried on their suits. And their suits are going to be black suits with green vests. But obviously they were just trying on like the way that the suits would feel based on the suit that we chose, a suit style that we chose. So I got a little bit of some of the guys in their suits. I will say Christopher's best man refused to let me see Christopher in his suit. He literally is like, no. If Christopher can't see you in your wedding dress, then you can't see him in his suit. So, but we've got some of his groomsmen in their suits, and they're looking good. Give it up for the boys. Where's like, let's hear it for the boys. There's one. He's right. Yeah. Can't see Christopher in his suit, man. But we got these. We got this one. Oh, yeah. He's looking good. We've got this friend. Nice. He's tall. This friend is tall. We got the tall boy. And then, finally, the best man. The best man with his fucking sunglasses. So there's all the boys in their suits. That was fun. And that was the last drama that I've had so far. Oh, the final piece of drama. And I think the final piece of my update in regards to my wedding that is in 9 weeks. So the final and last piece of the drama is, as I've shown you, we had our invitations, which I forgot to show you what the RSVP looked like. Hold on, everybody. Wait, 2 seconds. I'm going to show you what the RSVP looks like. The RSVP. Wait, that's not it. That's not it. That's not the final RSVP. There ain't no way that's the final. One moment. That's gotta not be it. Okay, this is not the final one, but it's the only one I can see so far. Okay, this is what our RSVPs looked like. Just side note, that's what they looked like. That's what the RSVPs looked like. Though that was the rough draft, but this is the like same. Okay, so that all being said, the final thing is the final piece of drama and the final update on the wedding thus far, as we are getting into the end of my very long story time, my 3-hour story time. Jesus Christ. So as we get into the end of this, my very last piece of drama is that we chose. Oh, there's 2 more pieces of drama, but they coincide, so just bear with me. So we chose to have my mom ship all of our invitations and stuff out from Illinois, so that anybody who got theirs would notice that it was internationally sent, that it wasn't going to be here in Vancouver. And so the 2 pieces of drama in regards to that is, as I mentioned earlier, my mom purchased these really, really, really cute, very pretty Compass International stamps for our friends up here in Canada. And these stamps would work for an envelope that was under 1 ounce. So basically your standardized like card or letter or anything that you just like slide into an envelope, it would be under 1 ounce and it would be shipped using that stamp perfectly fine. However, we had a invitation and a detail sheet and an RSVP card with a matching envelope, and we put this all inside of a very, very, very gold glittery like folder and into a very, very, very pretty gold envelope. And so when my mom went to the post office to weigh these invitations, they weighed over 1 ounce, which means that my mom needed to get extra stamps. And my mom's like, I need to get a stamp that's worth I'm sorry, everybody. Like, my lipstick's kind of being mean. My mom was saying that she needs to get a proper amount of stamps to pay the extra amount that she would need to be able to ship something that was that weight. So I think it like rounded out to like something that was like 32 cents extra she needed to pay per envelope. And she was like, well, what are your 32-cent stamps that I could add on to this? And the poor lady, well, not the poor lady, my poor mom, but the lady at the post office says to my poor mother, and she says, I only have one set of stamps. And they are yellow school buses. My mom had a whole crash out, everybody, because my mom has been trying really, really hard to make these very beautiful, very intricate invitations on gold stationery, on gold envelopes with printed labels that say to the future Mr. and Mrs. the human. And like everybody's address is printed on these beautiful labels with like gold like lined borders, and like she made it so perfect and so like intricate and so like proper. And then the lady was just like, you're gonna have to slap a fucking school bus on that bitch. And my mom was like, no, So my mom had a whole crash out and she freaked out. And she ended up getting the school buses and shipping out all of our invitations with yellow school buses on them. So everyone who has an international stamp also comes with an international school bus. And that actually brings me to my final piece of drama and the final stress over my wedding thus far. And that would be that mere days. I am talking 2 to 3 days maybe after. Hold on, the ad break's gonna end in like 30 seconds. I'm just gonna hold off. We're just gonna waiting until people come back, because I know that we're all strapped for cash. We're not gonna be subscribing like right away and doing all this crap, but like I'll give you guys the 12 seconds. I'm not a mean person. Let's wait 9 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year. Okay, hi everybody, welcome back. I decided to hold off on this last little tidbit until after the ad break was over, just for you guys. So the final piece of drama in my story is that my mother, after purchasing these school bus stamps and sticking them on all of the international envelopes, as much as she wanted to throw herself off a cliff for it, sent out my internationally labeled invitations to all of my friends and my future family up here in Canada. And in 3 days since my mother sent those envelopes, Canada Post went on strike and they stopped delivering mail. I don't know if anyone is going to get their invitations. I know of I know of 4 people out of, I think, the 26 addresses that we sent out here. I have only heard back from 4 people that they even got their invitations. My mom sent me and Christopher one so that we could have a visual, physical invitation of our own, since I had them all shipped to my mom. We have yet to receive our own invitation to our own wedding. But when it comes, I will do a little unboxing for you guys so you guys can see it all physically and it'd be cute. But yeah, I have not received my own invitation yet. So that's where I'm at currently. My wedding is in 9 weeks. I have not received my own invitation to my wedding yet, and Canada Post is on strike and not delivering mail. Needless to say, I'm still very, very excited for my wedding, and I hope that you guys are... I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a different kind of style for me. One, I finished my makeup way quicker than I guess I thought I would, especially because I was talking so much. But I had a lot of fun. I did. I had an enormous amount of fun talking your ears off and telling you about my wedding and all my stresses leading up to it. This month, I am hopeful. I'm going to be practicing, but I'm hopeful to get the Haunted House dance shot out for you guys in honor of Haunted House's 2nd year anniversary. Or 3rd year? No, 2nd. It came out in 2023. So Haunted House's 2nd year anniversary, I am going to be releasing the dance shot finally of it, hopefully. It'll just be like a simple one just to kind of give you guys a vibe. And keep on the lookout. I'm doing some covers and I have some little things in the works. I've been very busy planning my wedding, as you can see. But I'm hopeful to kind of get back into the groove of things. And this was a different style of video, but I think I might try doing more like these. I know that you guys kind of enjoyed hanging out when I did my nails and stuff, so like, I think I might try doing something similar to this. I do have a story time to tell for a different day about first dates. If you're on TikTok, you've already seen it, but I think it'll be a way better video to show long form. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed listening. I enjoyed doing it. I saw a lot of people in the chat today, which I'm really happy for. Thank you guys so much. I've been feeling very like self-conscious about the fact that like I've lost my like niche, and doing something like this felt really, really good. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys all probably tomorrow. Will I see you guys later tonight? Maybe I'll see you guys later tonight. If not, I might see you guys tomorrow night for some spooky games. I still have to get into the quarry, which is going to be really, really exciting. In the meantime, I do know that Misaki is streaming today, and she is streaming a charity stream, which is incredibly important and for a really, really good cause. So we are going to go ahead and we're going to go raid over to her and give her money for charity. And if you don't give her money for charity, then give me money because I am charity. At this rate, I've got no money in my bank account, so I am charity. So if you're not going to give money to her charity that supports a good cause, give money to my charity that supports me not going into debt further than I already am. And with that, we're going to go ahead and raid over to Hostess Misaki. I hope you guys have a good, wonderful day. I will see you guys all tomorrow, maybe tonight, depending on how I feel. But I'll be definitely seeing you guys tomorrow. And yeah, I had a really fun time talking to you guys about my wedding plans. I didn't think I actually mentioned anything about it aside from I got engaged. And so it was really, really cool and cathartic, really, to kind of talk about all the things that have been happening to me this past 6 months. So I love you guys. And as always, baby, you're home!
Hi.
You're home so early!
Yeah.
And you brought chippies! Okay, bye, everybody! Bye, hi, Miho! Bye, Miho! Okay, I'm gonna put on the ending screen. Goodbye, everybody! Bye-bye!